ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੀ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ। ਇਤ ਮਾਰਗ ਪੈਰ ਧਰੀ ਜੈ, 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 ਸਿਰ ਦੀਜੈ ਕਾਣ ਨ ਕੀਜੈ, ਸਿਰ ਦੀਜੈ ਕਾਣ ਨ ਕੀਜੈ, ਸਿਰ ਦੀਜੈ ਕਾਣ ਨ ਕੀਜੈ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ। ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੇ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੇ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ। ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੀ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੀ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ। ਇਤ ਮਾਰਗ ਪੈਰ ਧਰੀ ਜੈ, 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 ਸਿਰ ਦੀਜੈ ਕਾਣ ਨ ਕੀਜੈ, ਸਿਰ ਦੀਜੈ ਕਾਣ ਨ ਕੀਜੈ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ। ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੇ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਸਿਰ ਧਰ ਤਲੀ ਗਲੇ ਮੇਰੀਆ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ, ਜੋ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਖਿਲਨ ਕਾ ਚਾਓ।
One of the biggest problems we have today within the Panth is each and every single one of us wants Sikhi selfishly. You want to come to the Guru for your own sukh. You want to come to Guru Sahib Sache Paatshah and say, Guru Sahib, what can you give me? Why should I give you my head? If you do not get anything out of Sikhi, then thode vaste Guru bhi nahi hai kuch. We've forgotten who we are, what we're made of, what our blood is boiled with. We sit amongst the dirt. Our canopies are up in the skies. Every time one of our drops of blood spills on the ground, 10 more of us stand up. Pyareo, sanu sade itihas nahi pata. We forgot what our forefathers did and who we are. If you want Sikhi selfishly, I think you might have signed up for the wrong thing. Apne vaste Guru kol aida. Pyareo, samay sige. Singha ne apna sab kuch kurban karta. Gave everything up for themselves. Ek ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ ਕਿ Guru, ਇਹ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, this is for you. And until we recognize that, we begin living life like that, but you cannot walk this path. You will try it. You'll try to experience a little bit, and then you'll go back into your home. What we do today, we spend 40 minutes eating brownies. This is the Sikhi we live. In Kaljug, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah spoke to Kaljug. Kaljug came and said, had two things in their hands. One was a tongue. That tongue that we use to do nindya, to talk. But Gurbani nahi gaunde apan ode naal. Gurbani gauni hove na, te lakh wari takke keh ke japo pyareo, japo pyareo, japo pyareo. Then we sing a little bit. Fir bhi marya mangya. But when it comes time to go and sit in that NBA game, when it comes to laugh at your crack at your jokes, Kaljug is holding on to your tongue. The next thing Kaljug holds on is your sexual organ. And this is what drives the entire world out there. Pyareo, Khalsa is above this. We rise above that. Kaljug had one loi on their shoulders. Bhai Mardana ji said, what is that for? What is the loi on your shoulders? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj says, कि एक Kaljug ने अमृत वेले उठ के सारी सृष्टि दे ऊपर एक पर्दा पौना. Every Amrit Vela Kaljug takes their blanket and puts it across the entire world. But Kaljug says, but Tanya o Gursikh. Tanya o Jan, Sant Jan. Fir vi apne gyan rupi barcha leke, they break through that blanket and they still wake up at Amrit Vela. Are you able to fight that battle? Pyareo, je apni sukh di neend soni hai na, fir tusi ode vich hi song jaoge. You sleep in that. This battle that we face every day, Khalsa soye jo kare nit jang. Japo pyareo, ja Kaljug ne zuban fadi halle vi. Khalsa soye jo kare nit. Every second there's a battle between Mo and Babek in your mind. Every moment. We are soldiers. We are meant to die for the Guru. We're not meant to sit and sulk about what happened about the Panth. We sit and fight today. Kalgitar Paatshah 1708 ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਰੂਪ ਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਚਲਾਣਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, left the world physically in 1708. 10 years later, throughout that entire era, Baba Banda Singh is fighting from Sahand, from one side to the other, continuing to fight. You know this itihas as well. As they continue fighting throughout this, thousands and thousands of shaheeds. Many mothers try to grab their kids, pull them into their houses, take them into the fields, hide them into little bushes in the fields to say, nahi mere munde mere Sikh nahi hai. They're not Sikhs, but oh Singha ne ki kiya? No way. Sanu mauka mil reha shahidi paun da. If you really want to grow spiritually, my brothers and sisters, you have to be willing to go and put it all out. None of this, sit back, let me try a little bit, this and that. Ek Khalsa de bolle nahi hai. That's not what the Khalsa speaks. 1715 to 1716, Baba Banda Singh is captured, brought to Delhi with them. There's a few hundred Singhs that are taken. As they're captured, chained, their legs are chained, behind them the stars are taken off, and they're being taken all the way to Delhi. Ale Dwale unhone bhi kiya, they said, how are we supposed to only show up to Delhi with a few hundred Singhs? Many of them died of starvation on the way there as they're being walked all the way to Delhi. Baba Banda Singh is placed on an elephant in front. So they started capturing random kids. They killed innocents, put their heads on spikes to say these are Singhs. They would take women with long hair, cut their heads off, put them on spikes to say these were young Sikh boys. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਦਾੜੀਆਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਔਖੀਆਂ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਆ. There's a letter by a couple that from the East India Company that came at the time from England all the way to Delhi at the time, and they said what they saw in 7 days. There were 740 captures by the time they arrived to Delhi. 740. In 7 days, over 100 were killed. They were beheaded. Put head on the plaque. Uparon talwar aundi sigi. And behind them, each and every Singh, every ek wari Singh shaheed hove na, piche jekare chhadde a. In 7 days, 740 jekare were yelled. 740 Singhs shaheed hoye a. Do you want to know what the Singhs are about? The Singhs, their dade, their mucha, their dole, kiਵੇਂ ਫਰਕ ਦੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋਸ਼ ਸੀਗਾ. ਅੱਜ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਹਿ ਦੋ ਨਾ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ, ਨੋ 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 ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੂੰਜਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਸੇਵਾ ਲੁੱਟਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. They would fight each other for ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ. They said ਤੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਲਈ, push the other Singh back, ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ. The enthusiasm we're losing for the Panth. Campfire di gal khair. But for the entire Panth, we're saying somebody else will come and do it. We've not seen that from our previous generations. It's been lost for many generations. But it's our opportunity now to wake up and to remember what our forefathers were. Many of you have last names you associate with. Who were your great-grandfathers? Who were the Sandhus? Who were the Tillons? Who were the Uppals? Who were the Bajwas? Who were the Gels? Who were the Narowals? Do you know who they were? Not just the names that are printed on the back of a Lundi Jeep, that you play music really loud and say, "Ah, si Sandhu Tillon ne." Know who your forefathers were. Lakhmir, Shaheed Lakhmir Singh Sandhu. Shaheed Tara Singh Vaan, Puttar. Shaheed Baghel Singh, Amar Singh Tillon. Shaheed Balaka Singh Sekhon. These were the names. Vaise Guru Sahib ne the jaat paat sade vichon kad diti hai. Has taken out all these last names. But if you're going to be proud of something, be proud of that. Know the blood that was spilled. There was a Singh named Bhai Singh. 6 Singhs left with Baba Banda Singh in that jail. The Begum said, "I want to go and see what these things are actually about." The emperor at the time said, "Well, let's go and see what the things are about. We've never seen them." The Begum, the wife, the queen, she says, "I want to go and see what the things are about." I've heard so many stories that they're like lions, their eyes are giant and they're red, their beards are big, that they're so strong they can break through anything. I want to see them up close. As soon as they walked in, they saw Baba Banda Singh. They were dressed on an elephant. They There were 6 Singhs with them, hands tied, chains tied, feet tied. Lag gaya ina una vichon ek 6 foot naujawan munda. BoS Singh. He stands there, breaks away his handcuffs, breaks his feet, goes up to the guards when the king and the queen arrive. Of course, they're going to be with guards. They grab one of their kirpana out, utte 7 jaanyan nu maar ditta. Killed 7 people in there in that one instant. The Begum stepped back and said, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have come here. Shouldn't have come close to these things. That's what we were. We were meant to do Raj. Baba BoS Singh 7 janu maar ke utte shaheed ho gaye. Baba BoS Singh becomes shaheed in that very instant. This is 1716. 10 years after that, there were many battles between the Bandai Khalsa and Tat Khalsa, 2 Jathebandiyan. One continued to fight against the Satkar. One was almost finished. Tat Khalsa was sitting in their houses. Nobody knew what the Panth was doing anymore, but there were some things that knew and they remembered what we're about, what Guru Sahib created us for. Jaat Got Singhan ki Danga. Danga hi Sadgurte Munga. This is what we asked for. This righteous battle. But this righteous battle is not just for something that we want for ourselves. It's not just something that you go and beat up a couple of people, be a jerk about it. This righteous battle, jadon tiyan bhainan di patt lutti jave. When sisters are being declothed. When innocents are being harmed. When the world needs justice, utte Khalsa Panth uddda reha hai. The Khalsa Panth would stand up. For 10 years, people questioned that the Khalsa exist. Kuch Jagira miliyan, kuch Singha nu. Jagir is a piece of land. And in that moment, even when the Sarkar would say, we gave you this land, the Singhs would step back and say, who are you to give us this land? It's Sadi Jagir. We are the Maliks. We own this land. Baba Banda Singh brought Raj across the world. Utte sare ilake vich Raj le anda, kuch Singh baithe sige. There's one such village. There was one Singh. Some of us, we are happy at a time of peace. And we're saying, what do you mean? I can sit back, I can eat my ice cream, eat my brownies, and I'm happy, I'm fine. But there are some Singhs that are saying, no, we're bored. This is not a time of peace. That's not what we were designed to do. That's not what the Panth was designed to do. To sit back and enjoy. The Panth is to go and give the shaheed. That is our enjoyment. We decorate ourselves with the wounds from the top of our head to the bottom of our toes. We sacrifice the sleep because we enjoy that. Maharaj, if whatever we do is in your name, Maharaj, there's bliss in it. Tera tujhko sampade kya lag gaya mera. My body, Maharaj, I give it to you. My wealth, I give it to you. My strength, I give it to you. My sleep, I give it to you. My tongue, my throat, where my eyes look, Maharaj, I give that to you. The thorns in my feet, Maharaj, I give that to you. Sab kuch Guru vaste arpan kar dena. Utte. 10 years passed. People questioned. Bandai Khalsa is almost finished. Tat Khalsa is sitting in their cabins. They're sleeping. Well, one such thing, he always won in battle. There was a village in Majha. 2 villages. One is called Dal, one is called Vaan. These 2 villages close by each other. Kathiyan of Dalwa kehnde ne sige. But from the village Vaan, there was a Singh named Tara Singh. His last name was Buttar. The reason I say these names is because some of your names might be this. Recognize who you are. Because maybe your great-grandfathers didn't know this. Maybe their grandfathers didn't know this either. But it's our opportunity after generations and generations of defeat. We are now in transmigration. We sit across the world today. But we need to remember who our Ityas is, who our Shaheeds were. So we know that this is the blood that boils inside of our arms and veins. We rise above the body and the spirituality. Through the physics of this world, we know, kapda ditta Maharaj. Maharaj, we give this kapda back to you, the kapda, the clothes. That is our body. Guru no arpan kar dena. In 1726, this is roughly about 15 years after Kalgitar Pacha physically leaves this world. Singh named Tara Singh. He has taken Amrit from Kalgidhar Pacha in 1699. He is somebody that has fought in the battles of Sirhind with Baba Banda Singh. He's taken wounds to his body before. And he sits, he had a small little chobara outside this village. Chobara is literally just a bunch of wood stacked together into a little shed. Just a little bit high up. Around them, stiff trees are created so that it looks like an illusion that it's just a bunch of trees. Amongst these tightly packed trees, there is this 2-story little bunga of Tara Singh Vaan. With him live about 10 to 5 Singhs that come and go. They're always ready to battle. Tara Singh is such a hatti jappi tapi nahang Singh that every time he wakes up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., reads his Bani, sits there and then waits, goes and does seva of the Singhs. If there's a battle happening nearby, he is the type of person to say, Sade kar vi charan pa do. What do? We run from battle. Oh no. Rude person. If the Guru yells, Jo sir sai naan so sir kapodar, cut off the head. And we think, oh, that's too extreme, man. We just came here for lovey-dovey stuff. Pyareo, Guru kol auna na. Walk that path. Jo to prem khilan ka jao sir tar, tali gali meri aao. You think of that as a metaphor. These things walk that. We try to walk that today. And then you think, oh, Sikhi is not working. You never actually put your head on top of the palm of your hand. Kita the hani. You never actually did. This world today consumes you with greed and lust, and anger entices you with comforts. Has that drop of water ever reached the ocean by leaving the river? It can't. It must stay within the river. It flows and emerges with the ocean. Pyareo, isse tarike naal Tara Singh, he would always be looking out for battle. Kadon mere lage aage, shage aake. When we can go and fight? When can we wake up the Panth? When can we go and battle? If there's a battle at their neighbors, he would call them close. Mere lage aajo, come into my home. Mere naal bhi do hath ho jao. Let's battle a little bit. Let's take it out. He would always be looking. Jite koi Lord Vandya, a sister, a brother, anybody comes with a complaint, they know they could go to Tara Singh. Pyareo, you can only, if you're in trouble with the government, there's only times you can go to a few people. Majority of people say, oh, don't come near me. I don't want any trouble upon me and my family. But guess what Tara Singh would do? Tara Singh said, koi nahi aajo. Ab to pehle hi marji vade, we're already dead. I'm looking for an opportunity to give shahidi. They're looking for opportunities. The opportunity won't come to you. You have to look for it. You have to beg for it. You ask for it. Pyaro, sachi gal hai, shahidi is such a thing. Spend your entire life doing bhakti, give shahidi within 1 second and Bakunt poncho. You can achieve the level of Bakunt within 1 second. Even Birajnath, he declared war, Sarvala Grantha de vich aunda. He declared war upon God. And everyone said, are you a fool? Why would you declare battle, a war upon God? Are you a fool? God created the world, can destroy the world within a second. And he said, I'm no fool. You know why? Because as soon as I declare war upon God, God will have to come into the battlefield and meet me. And at least I'll get darshan of God. When Rabb de darshan to ho jange. Then he said, Vad to mad Rabb menu maar duga. When God spins their sword, their khadag, and cuts off my head, it'll be God's touch. Do you think I'll go to hell with that? Nahi, main meri to usse vele mukti ho jani hai. Whether I win that battle, whether I lose that battle, for me it's a win-win. Pyaro, eh sada Kshatri dharm hai. This is what we're made to do. Jahan to tusi sari umar janglan ch baith jo. Do your bhakti there. But if you want to live within this world, within a grist dharm, you want to battle within the world, this is why Maharaj created the Panth. Pargateo Khalsa Parmatam ki Mauj. Mauj vich ke saath jaya na? Mauj. There's a play. Think of like a little child, a baby, playing with toy action figures. One is the Mughal, one is the Khalsa. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the one sitting in the shed? ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰ ਲਈ. You were expected to be having your Nitnem memorized, ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਈ, be above the world. These are the bare bones expectations. If you're still struggling with that, you might not be ready for what we're about to talk about today. Tara Singh Vaan is saying, come, mere ghare vi aajo. Anybody that comes with a complaint, he is welcoming them. Outside, nearby, there is a village called Nashera. There is a Chaudhry there by the name of Sahib Rai. Sahib Rai Pannu. Pannuan da utthe Nashera vajdaya. There's 2 Garib Gursikhs there. 2 Garib Gursikhs, they do kheti badi. They're farmers. Sahib Rai Chaudhry, Nawa Chaudhar pan milya. He has an agenda against the Sikhs. He has Singh menu bada tang karde. These Singhs, they cause me problems. Ki unhone ne kya? So he would take his 2 kodiyan, his 2 horses, leave them open in the fields. Khulla chhad ke na te ja ke oh kodiyan kheti kha jandiyan sigiyan. They would eat that kheti. They would eat the crops. And these 2 poor Gursikhs, oh aake na Sahib Rai Chaudhry agge benti karde, kende Chaudhry sahab, you're our Chaudhry, you're like our master, you're like our mother and father of our little village. Please, can you tie up your horses? Kodiyan nu kite bann la. If you can tie up your horses, it'll make our lives easier because our little children have to eat the food. We barely make enough to be able to feed ourselves and feed our children. In that moment, jehda Chaudhry si na, oh hankarya si. He was filled with anger and ankar. With this ankar, ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਕਿਹਾ, ਅੱਛਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਘੋੜੀਆਂ ਬੰਨ ਦੋ, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਮੁੰਨਣ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰਦਾ. I'm here to cut off and shave off your head. If you want me to tie up these horses, why don't you shave off your head for me? Give me your hair. I will make ropes out of your hair and then I'll tie up my horses. Singhs nu gussa chad gaya. How dare he say this? That's an insult. Ki kesan waste ki nahi hoya. Singhs ne usse ek vele apne hirde vich dhar liya, gussa dhariya. They're angry. They said, if we were not poor and we didn't need to take care of our family, we would cut off his head and give Shahidi right now. We would cut off his head immediately. But our little children need to eat, those 2 Gursikhs thought. So they came back. What do? They're hurt by it. Oh, jehde 2 Singh si, they went to the nearby village called Usa. Pyare utte 2 Singh si, Shaheed Amar Singh te Bagel Singh, 2 brothers. Their last name was Tillon. This is who your forefathers were. Not the Tillon that plays on the Lundy Jeep and says, I'm a Tillon that I'm going to go and I do this and that across your motorcycle and your bullets. That's an insult. If Baba Bagel Singh and Amar Singh came here today and they saw Tillon written on the back of your Lundy Jeep, they'll probably slap you. But is this what we gave Shahid? Bagel Singh and Amar Singh heard this request and they're like, we got a plan. Every Singh in the Panth and Pan in the Panth has a skill. Some people are like, some of you are good with economics. Some of you are good with accounting. Some of you are good with IT. Some of you are good with computers. Some of you are good with something else. Some of you are good at organizing. Some of you are good at speaking. Some of you are good at singing. You each have a skill. And just like that, there are some skills that were used within the Panth that might not be even known as mainstream. Those things, they were really good spies. They were really good detectives. They were really good thieves. They were really, really stealth. Even Baba Bidhi Chand. There was a time when Guru Hargobind Maharaj ne kya si. They asked one of the other Singhs, can you go and grab the horses? And he said, Sache Pacha mere ko katha kara liyo, get me to do as much katha as you want. I can't do this kind of stuff. I can't go steal those horses. I don't have the skill set. And they said, who is ready to do it? And Sare Singh ne ke Ekki Singh Baba Bidhi Chand de. He has the skill set. He's able to go and do this. In the same way, Bagel Singh and Amar Singh, Rato Rat gai, they went in the middle of the night. They went up to where Sahib Rai Chaudhry's horses were. They untied the horses. They sat on the horses and they rode the horses away. Kode bhaja ke le gaye. Jadon bhaja ke le gaye na, horses are running away. Dur ja, and they took him all the way to Malwa. They gave him to a Singh by the name of Lakhmir Singh, Sandhu. Lakhmir Singh took him all the way to Sardar Allah Singh, to the kings of Patiala. Othe jaake kodi bechti. 2 kodiyan bechtiyan. They took that money. Once the horses were sold, took the money, brought it back, and they gave the money to Tara Singh's langar. Jithe Bhai Tara Singh da chobara si, to their bunga, Bhai Tara Singh would serve the Singhs. Jehda bhi Singh janglan cho aave na, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਖੂਬ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ ਪੈਰ ਘੁੱਟਣੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਲੰਗਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇਣਾ they gave all of that money back into the Panth ਲੰਗਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਰਾਏ ਚੌਧਰੀ he had detectives these detectives are sent out to go and look for the tracks ਕਿੱਧਰ ਕਿੱਧਰ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਘੋੜੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ who stole my horses as they're running around going around they go left right north east south ਗੱਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਘੁੰਮ ਘੰਮ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ Tara Singh de bunge tak pahunch gayi. And they said, the horses were brought here to Tara Singh. Sahib Rai Chaudhary brings the spies. They stand outside the Tara Singh's bunga and they say, Oi Tara Singh, why are you housing thieves inside of your house? Tu kede kitte lagya? We gave you this jagir. Tara Singh go bolya. Tara Singh says, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ ਆ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ we are the emperors who are you to give me my land this is my land this is the Khalsa's land why are you stepping on my property Tara Singh then says ਅਸੀਂ ਚੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੋਰ ਤਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਚੌਧਰੀ you are the thief you are the one that is stealing from the poor Singhs you are the one that takes it ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਿਆਂ ਕੀਤਾ we just took back what was ours We just evened out the playing field. You took the food, we sold the horses, we took the money, gave it back to the langar, and the langar goes back to the Singhs. We just played it even. Gal kardiyan wad gayi. They said, do you not fear the Turks? Do you not fear the emperor? Kehndi assi kisi di aan nahi mande. We don't come under anybody. Gal waddi. Eventually Sahib Rai Chaudhary, he went to Patti da Raja, Jafar Beg. Jafar Beg is collected and he gets insulted. He is told by Sahib Rai, he said, look, we cannot give you taxes because the Singhs are stealing from us. Or lotmar kar deya. Either Jafar Beg, we give you our taxes or we give the Singhs the taxes. Oh bhi apne aap nu raje mande firde hai. They are considering themselves to be kings. Jafar Beg gets insulted. Wakes up like a sleeping lion. And he said, Kiddan kehde? He asked, how many of them are there? Kehde, 5-10 नहीं 5-10 of them and then ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ 10 ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ 5-10 more of them come and they go ਬਸ ਇੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ 10-20 ਜਾਣੇ total 10-20 of them do they have a killa no they don't have a killa they just have a little wooden fortress a little wooden shed that's where they live what weapons do they have Sahib Rai says ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਖਾਸ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ some of them have gatre vich karpana some of them just have barche spears some of them don't have any shastar they don't have any weapons on them some of them Sahib Rai Jafar Beg kehde theek hai ja ke hamla karde hain they get together pyareo to take care of 10 to 20 Singhs they send a total of 80 infantry soldiers with them they send 5 horsemen with them, there are cannons, there are musketeers, there is those with guns. A total, including the generals, there's a total of 105 soldiers. When these 105 gather, they're arriving, their plan was to go and sneak up on the Singhs in the middle of the night. Addi raat nu. In the middle of the night, they were going to go to the Singhs. Sneak up, grab them. Their plan was, we'll go in the middle of the night, Suraj Charan tak. By the time the sun rises, we would have grabbed them and taken them back to Lahore. Lahore is just about 15 miles from there. Koi zyada dur nahi hai. We'll grab them, capture them while they sleep, take them back to Lahore by sunrise. Pyareo, 12:30 ਵਜੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਫੌਜ ਉਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਤਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਕਮਰ ਕੱਸੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ they don't realize that the Khalsa is waking up at 1 or 2 a.m. they have their ਕਮਰ ਕੱਸੇ tied और ਤਿਆਰ ਬਰ ਤਿਆਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ they're waiting for a danga at any moment the malle are tied in that moment Baghel Singh ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ he goes out to do Maidan. He goes out to the washroom in the fields. Not like today where we have sewer systems. or you can just go into your ensuite and flush whatever you want. We have lives easy today. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਕਰਕੇ. We stand there, entire Damale, with 3 different mirrors today. Why? Because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਪਾਈਆਂ ਆ. Baghel Singh is going out, one hand ek hath vich barcha, dusre hath vich kirpan ya, gatre vich kirpan ya. In his hand, he has a little gadwa with sucha pani lake. Because he has to wash his hands after doing Maidan, after doing number 2 in the field. He's going out, kamar kasat, sajaya. He's out in the field. As he's about to go, he sees a large army coming over the hill of Ajai. He sees the army. He thinks to himself, I need to go and warn the Singhs. Pyaro, this is the birti that we need to have. Can't have a herd mentality. Baghel Singh thinks there's 100 plus of them. 100 to vadne. If I go back and tell the Singhs, guess what the Singhs might say? The Singhs might say, oh Baghel Singh, tu dar ke bhaj jaya. They might say, Baghel Singh, you're the one that stole the horses and you caused this problem. Why did you get scared and come back? Baghel Singh thinks, no, I can't let the Singh say that to me. Baghel Singh kenda hun bas shahidiyan da vela aa gaya. He pulls out his kirpan. He yells from the side, Gaj ke jikara ke jave nala jave Sat Sri Akal. Jadon jikara chhadya na, utthe Sahib Rai, where's the sound coming from? Addi raat hui pyareo. It's in the middle of the night. Has no idea where the Singhs come from. Why? Because those Mughals, Turks, they're sleeping in their comfortable chambers. They're sleeping with their pillows. They're sleeping with their rajaiya. But the Singhs, they're living in the jungles. Their eyes are used to seeing in the middle of the night. They know the Panth, how to move in the middle of the night. The Singhs, they can maneuver. And the Mughals have no idea which direction they're coming from. All Sahib Rai says is, I've heard this voice before. Ek minute, where did this voice come from? Addi raat vich awaaz kitthon aayi? I've heard this voice. Every time when a Singh yells a jikara, you guys know this as well. A Singh's voice is unique. Kise Singh da jikara yo se oh to Gyan Singh da jikara siga. Kise ne kehna oh to Gurjot Singh da jikara siga. Kise ne kehna la oh to Bhai Manpreet Singh da jikara siga. Oh Supreet Singh da jikara siga. You will know. Mughਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ we've heard this jikara before. I've heard this voice before. ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਈ ਆ. This is the one that stole the horses. This is the one that causes me all the problems. ਜੇ ਇੱਕ Baghel Singh ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਤਾ ਨਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਹ ਲਓ ਅੱਧਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. If you kill this one Singh, it consider half the job done. Why? Because he's the one. ਇਹ ਪਵਾੜੇ ਦੀ ਜੜ ਆ. ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦਾ. ਇਹਨੂੰ ਫੜੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ. Baghel Singh ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ekdam jikare chhadde. He goes into the battle. They have no idea which direction he's coming from. Pyareo Pantre karda. First he goes, 5-7 nu jaake marya. He kills 5 and 7 of them. Then he goes and kills 10, 15. Ek hath vich barcha. In the other hand, there's a kirpan. You tell me, somebody with a kirpan and a spear in their hand, do you think they're afraid of death? They're hiding behind shields? Do they think you're trying to save the wounds that are about to hit them in the body? No. Baghel Singh Pantre karda kills up to 50 of those Mughals. 50 of them. Then they gathered around. They saw the glimpse of the kirpan in a little bit of the moonlight. They saw a little bit of him. They surrounded him. They faced their muskets towards Baghel Singh. The guns went and hit Baghel Singh in the butt. It hit him in the thigh. Baghel Singh falls right a little bit to the side, but he still pulls up his barcha, kills 2 or 3 more. Kills 5 more. When that sound goes off of the muskets, the Singhs and the Chubara that are just literally right up there down the hill, there's a battle that's going on. ਜਿਹੜੇ 10-20 ਸਿੰਘ ਸੀਗੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ they stand up. ਬਾਕੀ ਅਮਰ ਸਿੰਘ, ਭੀਮਾ ਸਿੰਘ, ਹੋਰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੀਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਏ. ਜਕਾਰੇ ਛੱਡਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਟੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਪੈ ਗਏ. They all fall upon them. As they move forward in this battle, ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, there was 2 ਭਤੀਜੇ, 2 nephews of Tida Raja, of Jafar Beg. Nobody knows who killed them. Because in the middle of the night, some of the arrows and the muskets and the karpana, it's in the middle of the night, moonless night. As they're fighting, the Pathan, sometimes they would kill their own guys, they wouldn't know. Keda pata lagda siga? In the middle of the night and like this. Nobody knows who killed those patije. But the reward, the kill count, went to Baba Baghel Singh. Baba Baghel Singh is known to be the killer of those. Those two nephews died. Singhs went and attacked. He saw his nephews dead. He grabbed his nephew's body, dragged him out of the battlefield, and they went all the way back to Madoki Kambo. They went back to a different village. They planned, they said, these Singhs, a few of them, they killed so many of our soldiers. We need to get reinforcements. Jaake unhone kiya Lahore, jaake apan faryad dasiye. Let's go and tell Lahore. Let's go and tell the Emperor Zakaria Khan. Nama Zakaria Khan baniya siga. He wanted to go and emphasize his hold upon the Singhs. They said now is a perfect opportunity to go and tell them what the Singhs are about. How they're causing so much problem. Jadon unhone jaake dekhya, pyare oh apne jaake ek paase una di tiyari ho rahi hai, ek paase on one side they are preparing, the Turks and the Mughals are, on the other side the Singhs are preparing. Look at the vast difference between how they prepare. The Singhs gathered together, pyare us jang de vich Baba Baghel Singh shaheedi pa gaye. Baba Baghel Singh attained shaheedi there in that battle. Shayad thonu pyare pata nahi hai. When we speak about Shaheed Singhs, the Shaheeds gather around and they listen to their own prasang. I'm not just hyped up because I'm a hyper person. One day I'm going to have to walk into a court. I'm going to have to show my face to Baba Baghel Singh. He's going to look at me and he might have to say, Harman Singh, you told my story wrong. You know how much fear I have in my heart? I might have to walk into a court one day and Bhai Mani Singh ji might be sitting there. And Bhai Mani Singh might say, Harman Singh, tu to mera itihas galat suna gaya. Jadon Singhan di shaheedi pendi hai na, it's happening now in this very moment. Oh aap aake sunde hai. They're here. They're listening to this prasang. Jadon maryada eh hai, jadon Singh shaheed hunda jekara chaddi da. You have to do a jekara when a Singh becomes shaheed in the middle of katha. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Baba Baghel Singh, pat vich goli lagdi hai, kills 50 Mughals in the middle of that battle, in the middle of the night. Baki sare Singh bhaj ke aunde, Baba Baghel Singh's attained shaheedi in that battle. Aur mainu dasso, Tillo, Sandhu, Gill, Bajwa, what are your names? Do you live that same lifestyle, or are you just putting your name in the back of a Lundi Jeep and playing it around? Is it just on your passports? On one side, the Mughals are preparing. They go to Zakaria Khan and they say, look at what the Singhs have done, the bandits. Look how much damage they caused. Zakaria Khan asks, says, how many of them are there? There was one vizier that spoke up. You know what the vizier said? Pyaro, this is what the Singhs were. This is what the Singhs lived by. This is why we read Chandi Diwar. Diwar mein khasur dant. And the vizier said, "Eh jede Singh ya thonu nahi pata keho je ya. You don't know what they're actually like. What are they like? If you kill them, if a drop of their blood spills on the ground, wherever their drop of blood touches the ground, 10 more Singhs rise up from that. You can't kill them in this way," the vizier says. So the vizier says, "I've got a plan." ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਫਤਵੇ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ. There's a few different ways they have to say we can kill them. There's one way where they don't allow a drop of blood to spill on the ground. That is the way they either beat them with clubs, they crush their bones, or they put them on hot plates like they did with Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. He said, let's go and do this. Why don't you go and capture them alive? He says, go and capture the Singhs alive, bring them back to Lahore, and then we'll deal with them here. We'll crush them with clubs. And there was one spy, there was one soldier that was so brave. He spoke up in the middle of the court of Zakaria Khan, a random soldier. And he says, "Oh Vizier Sahab, तेरी गल ते ठीक है. What you're saying is true. है तो तेरी गल ठीक, पर ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਕਮੀ ਆ. ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਹਿਣੀਆਂ ਸੌਖੀਆਂ ਆ. Do you know how much it takes to capture a Singh, to kill a Singh? Do you know how difficult it is to walk up to a lion and say, let's just go home with me? Do you think that's how it works, Wazir Sahib? It's easier for you to say, to sleep in your chambers with your little begum. These are the words he said. It's easy for you to sleep with your wife in your chambers and talk all the crap that you do. Why don't you, here, if you want to go capture the Singhs alive, why don't you get on your horse? Why don't you lead the way? Why don't you go and grab the Singhs yourself? We'll follow. ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆ. ਵਜ਼ੀਰ ਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੋਲੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ. ਵਜ਼ੀਰ didn't speak a single word after that. ਵਜ਼ੀਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਟੱਕਰਾ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ. Then Zakaria Khan says, is there anybody in my court that can take upon these things? Koi hai? Momin Khan was appointed. Momin Khan, a great general with so much experience behind his belt. He has given 2,200 horsemen. 2,200. 2,200. Let me say that again. With that, there are 40 cannons. There are 5 elephants given. There are great musketeers. This army is going up to 2,400. Inni ginti vich, and there's just senior generals and there's junior generals that are fighting in the middle of this battle. Jang de vich doojdiyan, they all have great victories. Koi 10,000 hai, koi 1,000 hai, koi 20,000 hai. These are their ranks. Just like we have captains and we have corporals and majors. These were their ranks. 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Many of these were many great generals that came into this battle. Pyareo, all of them camp outside Lahore. They sit outside Lahore. When you see such a large army sitting outside your city, there were Singhs from Lahore that decided, we need to go and tell these Singhs, if such a great army is gathered, they can only be for one person. Kede vaste? Say, "Ye Tara Singh vaste hi ho sakdi hai." Pero that's what the Singhs were about. They knew if an army is gathered, oh, it should be for him. Aaj sada koi naam janda hai? Does anybody know what our name is? Do we just hide behind? Singha ne jadon pata lagya na Lahore de Sikha ne, they rode out in the middle of the night. They went all the way to Tara Singh. They said, Singh Sahib ji, sadi ek benti hai. It's the middle of the night. We had to run from Lahore. We're going to have to go back by morning. Sadi e benti hai ki tusi ithon chal jao. Leave this field. Come back in a few days. Let the Mughals come through. Let them invade. Let them see that the Singhs aren't here. Then you can come back home. Tara Singh hears this. Jadon hor vi siane Singha ne bentiyan kitiyan na, Tara Singh, he thinks to himself, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਖਜ਼ਾਨੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ 10 ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ ਦੀ ਪੋਥੀ ਕੱਢੀ. He took out a pothi of 10 ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ from his pocket. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ 10 ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ ਪੋਥੀ ਚੋਂ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਲਿਆ. From that 10 ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ ਪੋਥੀ there was a ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ that came from ਬਚਿੱਤਰ ਨਾਟਕ. ਜੋ ਕਹੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕੇ ਭਾਜ ਤੇ ਬਾਚੀਅਤ, ਤੋ ਕਹੂੰ ਕੁੰਟ, ਤੋ ਕਹਿ ਕੁੰਟ ਕਹੂੰ ਭਜ ਜਈਐ. In this way, Bachittar Natak di Bani says, has there ever been somebody that can run away from death? Koi hai? That can run away from death. Which direction should you run in to run away from death? Which direction? Tell me. North, east, south, west? Because wherever you go, the Khardag of death is standing. The sword of death is glistening with thunder, waiting for you. Has there anybody been in history that has escaped death? Has Ram? Has Ravan? Has anybody escaped death? So then, instead of running from death, something that's inevitable, why not happily accept it? Why not go and submit in the sanctuary of death? Pyareo, side story, Duni Chand, a great warrior of Kalgidhar Pacha. There is a drunk elephant that's coming towards the Logar da Killa. Duni Chand is asked, and Kalgidhar Pacha says, Duni Chand, why don't you go out and fight that elephant, drunk elephant? Duni Chand wakes up all night, doesn't know what to do. Tomorrow he sees death. He goes and asks Bhai Daya Singh Ji, Bhai Tara Singh Ji, and he says, let's do this. Let's talk to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Say, this is a mistake. Sanu nahi karna chahiye. Let's not fight them. Let's leave Logar the Kela. Let's plan something else. All the Panch Pyare, they say, Duni Chanda tu Guru da kha ke fet gaya aaya. You've eaten from the Guru's house, and now you're running away from death. Fet gaya tum. Then they go to the Panch Mukte, Ram Singh, Tara Singh, Ishar Singh, Fateh Singh. They go to the Panch Mukte, and the Panch Mukte say the same thing. Duni Chanda tu bemukh ho gaya. Then he goes to Baba Ram Koyar Ji. Baba Ram Kaur Ji says the same thing. Duni Chand in the middle of the night, he leaves, climbs down Logar the Kila, his rope snaps, falls on the ground, breaks his leg, drags himself back all the way to Amritsar Sahib. He hides behind the back room. When he hides in the back room, in the middle of the night, he gets so thirsty, even his sons didn't hear his voice. He says, I'm going to go and drink water myself. When he went to get water himself, he put his foot down on the ground in the middle of the night, and there's a black cobra that was sitting there. That black cobra bit him on the foot, and Duni Chandi uthi chadai ho gayi. Death is inevitable. Marn likhaye mandal mein aaye. Death is inevitable, that it will be on your head. He could have died in the battle for Kalgitar Pacha and attained mukti right there, but he ran. And you know the rest of the story. When the Singh said, Duni Chand Pach gaya, then Kalgitar Pacha says, if a drunk elephant is coming, we'll send our tiger Bachittar Singh. And you know the rest of the story from there. Here, Bhai Tara Singh says, this is Guru Sahib's hukum, hon ta pyareo shidiyan paun da vela aa gaya. Bhai Tara Singh prepares. As he prepares, Bhai Tara Singh, he says, I need Singhs that are going to stand there and are willing to accept death. Aale dwale Singha nu kya, who here is willing to lay down their lives? Because now death is inevitable. Pyareo, amongst those 10 to 5 Singhs that he had, there was a couple that did leave. Ek do sige, they said, hon sada jaan da vela aa gaya, it's time for us to go. They left. Bhai Tara Singh felt a lot of absos. Majority of them said, we're willing to die. Bhai Tara Singh writes letters all the way across the nation. Some to Peshawar, some to Delhi, some to far away. From far away Peshawar to Singh aaye, do. 2 Singhs came from the Buttar clan, Basawa Singh, Meher Singh, Pingma Singh, Megha Singh. Many, many Singhs from far away, all the way from Multan some came. Some came from the south, some came from the east and the west. A total of 22 Singhs gathered. 22 Singh katte hoye. And some of them literally are receiving a letter from Tara Singh. Tara Singh is saying, Singho, you were my Jaan Pais. You said that you would fight to the death with me. And now the time has come. Come join me for Shahidi. And those Singhs, they didn't give the responses that we'd say, oh, I'm busy this weekend. They didn't say, oh, but my mom said I can't come. Oh, I got an exam next week. Look where we're at. We're saying we're too tired. Those Singhs from far away, they rode. They said, Tara Singh da hukam aa gaya, shidiyan paun da vela aa gaya. That's our Jaan Pai. That's the person that we're going to die with. They gathered 22 Singhs. Kya rahe ho, koi Japji Sahib da paath kar reha, koi Sukhmani Sahib da, koi Chandi di Waar da, koi hor baniyan par reha. On this side, unhone Bakari di khal laake, they made a nagara. They prepared a nagara. They literally took a pot. They put the sheepskin on top and they created a nagara. They sharpened whatever weapons that they had, the barche that they had. Some of them had garpanna, some of them had gatre, some of them had barche. Some of them just had wooden sticks that they just made sharp. Thoda thoda hi si ona kol. On the other side, 2,200 horsemen. As they're on their way, there was one poor villager. He loved Bhai Tara Singh. He had so much sharda for him. He goes up and he distracts them. He goes up to this massive army and he says, hey guys, I know where Tara Singh is. Follow me. But he takes them the wrong way. He takes them to the wrong village. Instead of to the village Vaan, he takes them to the village Dal, which is nearby. Dal and Vaan are 2 different villages. Dal and Vaan. He takes them to the Dal village rather than the Vaan village where Bhai Tara Singh was. He distracts them. While he's leading them the wrong way, he sends a messenger. This poor Sikh does. The poor villager does. He sends a message, and the messenger arrives to Bhai Tara Singh and says, Bhai Tara Singh ji, sadi benti hai, please leave the bunga. Leave, come back in 3 days. Let them see. There's a huge army on your way. Bhai Tara Singh says, Shabash! Shabash! Because this is what brotherhood is about. You did the right thing that you told us. But, sada nischay hun shahidiyan paun da hai. We've made a decision. We're going to give shahidiyan now. There's no backing. Purja, kat mare, kabu na shadde. We've made the decision. Pyare, are these just little words that you sing in a ransbais? Are we going to live them? Or are we just going to talk about them? Or are we going to try to inspire each other every weekend about them? We're going to make little videos and reels and talk to each other and say, yeah, we got a bunch of likes for it. Are we actually going to live it? Purja, kat mare, kabu na shadde. You never leave the battlefield, even if your body is cut into bits. Bhai Tara Singh says to the villager, says, Asi nischay kar le aaya. Sends him back. Pyareo, from there, when the entire army arrives to the Dal village, the villagers come out. When the villagers come out, they say, there's no thieves here. There's no Singhs that live here. Koi nahi ithe rehanda. Nobody lives here. Jadon koi nahi rehanda na, us paasyon Singha nu pata lag gaya, ek minute, the army's in the wrong village. Singha ne aap nagara vajauna shuru kar dita. They started playing the nagara. Everybody heard that the nagara is playing in the other side of the village. Pathan sare kehne lag pe, we're on the wrong side. This guy brought us to the wrong side. Unhone kode bajate. They started running towards where the nagara was because the Singhs were inviting it. They were saying, Aajo, meet us in the battlefield. Odron, there was one Pathan that loved the Singhs. Ek Pathan siga. One person from the army of the soldiers. He ran outside to the outskirts through the jungles before the rest of the army. He traveled as fast as he could before the rest of the 2,200 horsemen army. Arrives to Tara Singh and says, I'm a Pathan. My army is about to come and invade this place. Singho, please leave. Leave this place, save your lives, come back in a few days. Bhai Tara Singh says again, Asi nischay kar le aaya. Pyareo, 4 people have come and said. The Singhs around him that have said it. The Sikhs from Lahore have said it. The villagers have said it. And now a Pathan has even said it. Every single time, Bhai Tara Singh says, we're going to give shaheedi now. We accept death. Jis marne te jag dar hai, mere man anand. The death that the entire world is scared of, we are going to accept it today. We're going to take it upon us. Pyareo, Singh janglan vich joojde. Sadiyan kite mada jiha 20 minute behna hove na tuhi dukhan lag pendi hai. Our back starts hurting. Let's take the pain upon us. Let's sacrifice the sleep. Let's live what those Singhs did in the middle of the nights. Singhs stand out. The army is about to come. Singha ne sari tiyari kiti. Othe Bhai Tara Singh steps out. He goes out to grab some water. They didn't have all of the water system that we have. Tuti on karo hath sodlo. They had to go out and get the water. Jaake Amrit vele 2-2:30 baje pani lane gaye. Then there's this massive sound of 2,200 horsemen arriving. Bhai Tara Singh sees it, calls upon the rest of the Singhs. Kende Singho, halle vi thode vichon je kisi ne bhajna to bhaj jao. Even now, if a single one of you want to run away, feel free to. Landipur ji bhajje. Someone of anybody of you, you're scared, you can leave now. Par je rehna to raho, stay and fight with me. Apan guru nu khush kar diye. Let's make our guru happy. Bhai Tara Singh, sare Singh bahar aaye. They yelled the jikare. Udron 2200 घोड़सवार प्यारेओ, उधरों 2200 घोड़सवार आ रहा. I want you to visualize this. What would you do in the middle of the battlefield? Some of us, we trip over a little soccer ball. मारा जब पैर छोटा पत्थर च वजे ना, साडा गूठा सवज जांदा. These things, they stood up. Some of them didn't have any shoes. As they stood, 2,200 horsemen arriving, and सारे ने घेरा पा लिया. Some flank to the right, some flank to the left. They surround them. The Singhs, as they stand on one side, there's a Singh by the name of Balaka Singh Sekhon. Balaka Singh pulls out his kirpan. He is closer to some of the horses. He jumps in towards them, cuts off the arm of one, cuts off the leg of the other, attacks the head of another Mughal. He kills 8 Mughals there. 8 ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਬਲਾਕਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਉੱਤੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਪਾ ਗਿਆ. Balaka Singh was hit with an arrow right in his chest. ਛਾਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੀਰ ਲੱਗਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਗਿਆ. ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਜਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ. All the Singhs gathered together back to back. They stood back to back. These were the panthre that they used. Because you would cover my back, I cover your back. As they stood in a circle, the strategy of Momin Khan was, we have so many horses. There's only 22 of them, 21 of them left. Why don't we just run them over with all our horses? So they lined up the horses and they ran their horses towards the Singhs. Pyareo, wah wah wah. Singhan di koi rees hai. The Singhs saw the horses coming. As they would step back, they waited for the horses. Singhan ne pantre aho jisi. The step with the footwork of the Singhs was such. In the middle of the night, Singh stepped to the side, pulls out his kirpan, right where the horse comes in, one blow, he chops the head of the horse off. Cuts off the head of the horse. The horse falls to the ground, hits the horse beside them. All 3-4 horses in the front fall to the ground. When they fall to the ground, such dust on the ground is flying into the air. Nobody can see what's happening. The vultures are in the skies now. The thunder clouds are roaring. The warriors are screaming. All the horses fall to the ground. The Pathans behind them, those horses are running into the horses that are dead in front of them. They're running into each other. All the horses are piling up, and the Mughals that are on top of them are being killed with their own spears. They're being killed with their own, falling under their own horses. Singhs are jumping on top of the horses. They jump up, they cut off the heads. They keep on fighting. Joojde jamde as they keep on moving forward. As they move forward, they're cutting off the heads. But pyareo, joojde sare jadon jang inni lage hogi na, when the battle became so close. Sometimes in battle, you're heated at the beginning. Then as you keep on fighting, you get closer and closer and closer. Sometimes these swords are too big. You have to pull out your katars. You have to pull out the smaller weapons. It became so close. And when your feet are stuck in the mud, you can't even lift your feet out anymore. The mud is up to your knees. You can't see anything. Your body is numb from the wounds. You don't know where you've been struck now. The battle slows down. When the battle slowed down, Pyare Othe Momin Khan, the leaders, this is where the leader happens. When the battle slows down, the leader has to step up. They have to reorganize. They have to pull back, re-strategize and say, this is the way we need to go. Momin Khan, he pulls back all of his soldiers. He says, you know what, we need to go and attack. He pulls Taki Beg, one of the other generals, junior generals. He pulls out his general, he calls for another soldier with an elephant, calls them both forward. Taki Khan comes forward, Taki Beg. Taki Beg is calling out, Tara Singh! Tara Singh, where is Tara Singh? I'm looking for Tara Singh. Tara Singh says from the corner, Thoda ja ho rage aaja. Tara Singh says, I'm over here. Hey, come to the right a little bit. Taki Beg, he steps forward and he says, Tara Singh. Tara Singh says, hey, Taki Khan, Taki Beg, why don't you shoot first? You take your shot first because I don't want you to say tomorrow that Tara Singh didn't give me a chance. This was the confidence of the Singhs. I don't want Taki Beg to say the Singhs never gave him a chance to shoot first. Shoot your shot. Taki Beg, he put his arrow on his bow. He shot an arrow. The arrow went right through the farla of Tara Singh. It went through this dastar, through the farla, through the cloth that hangs off. Tara Singh, when one swift moment, when we talk about it, we have to slow it down. But in the moment, this is happening within a split second. Tara Singh grabs on to the reins of the horse of Taki Beg. He steps to the side and he looks from the top of the head to the bottom of his toes. Taki Beg is covered in metal. Where should he strike? He's trying to blow. He said, I can't strike his head because there's metal. I can't strike his neck because there's chainmail. I can't strike his arms. I can't even strike his calves. I can't strike his back. I can't strike any. There's no place from his face to his chest to his arms to his under armpits. There's nothing. There's no place to be able to attack. There's no room. So Tara Singh, pyareo Singhan de pentre kya ho jaise he saw one tiny slit where Taki Beg needed to breathe through his mouth. One tiny little slit, just like a little coin slot. There's a tiny little bit. Tara Singh, he takes his kirpan, switches it to the different mode, takes his point of his kirpan, puts it right into the mouth of Taki Beg. And as soon as it goes into that bit, Taki Beg steps back. Blood is oozing from his mouth. He rides back to Momin Khan. When he rides back to Momin Khan says, "Oh Taki Beg, tu ka to pan khai janna hai. Where are you eating pan from? Why are you eating the betel leaves? Who gave you the chewing tobacco?" Taki Beg says, "Oh Momin Khan, piche baith ke mainu tichra kari janiya. Agge Tara Singh ne langar laya hai. There's a langar of pan, of bidiyan, of this chewing tobacco that Tara Singh is giving out. Whoever goes up to him, he'll give it to you as well. Why don't you go up to Tara Singh? He'll feed you some of this as well." There was no actual pan. It was just every time somebody would come, Tara Singh would put their kirpan right into their mouth. And he said, "Momin Khan, piche khad ke tichra karniya, come with me into the battle." Momin Khan sends the elephant forward. The elephant rides forward. On top of that, the elephant is taking 2 arrows, putting it on the bow, shooting 2 at a time. Aurangzeb used to be able to shoot 3 at a time. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj used to be able to shoot 5 at a time and be able to hit the targets. When the elephant is riding forward, there was one Singh by the name of Bhima Singh. These Singhs had the juktiyan. They knew the pressure points. He stepped up, he jumped up, grabbed the ear of the elephant, twisted the ear of the elephant, pulled the elephant down. Bhima Singh brought that elephant down to his knees. In that moment, Bhima Singh steps up, takes his kirpan, goes to the elephant tries to go and hit the elephant on the head. There was an ankush, there was a rod that is used to control the elephant. The elephant puts the rod in front. Bhima Singh's kirpan goes, hits the rod and breaks in half. Kirpan totgi. It broke in half. In the middle of this broken kirpan, he thinks, now's my moment. With a broken kirpan, he takes off the head of the elephant right after that moment. Even though the kirpan split in half. Bhima Singh had so many wounds, he's falling to the ground now. Bhai Tara Singh comes to his aid. After Bhai Tara Singh comes to his aid, Tara Singh calls Lakhmir Singh. He says, "Lakhmir Singh, when we were young, we used to jump over. We used to jump over cows all the time. When we used to jump over cows, wo ay katta ki cheez hai. Chal shal maar, let's go jump over it." Lakhmir Singh says, "Tara Singh, main bhi ohi cheez soch raha si, let's jump over this little calf of these guys, the elephant." Shal mari, he goes on, battles the soldier that's on top of the elephant, onu dusre nu maar ke, the second one, kills him, takes control of the elephant, rides it all the way back towards where the Mughals are. Singha ne utte aale duale ਘੇਰਾ ਪਾਇਆ. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੂਝਦੇ ਮੋਮਨ ਖਾਨ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਇਆ, ਜੂਝਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੂਰਜ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਿਰਨਾਂ ਪੈ ਗਈਆਂ ਨਾ, as they kept on fighting, ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ 100 ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ, killed more than half the army. When the sun rose and they saw, wait, there's only 5 Singhs left. 5-6 Singh ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਆ. When the sun rose, the Singhs couldn't hide in the dark anymore. They saw the Singhs where they are. They surrounded them. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ, through muskets, they shot their bullets. ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੀਗੇ, Lakhmir Singh, Amar Singh, Tara Singh, Bhima Singh, Megha Singh, Mali Singh, all of these Singhs that were left, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ. The news of this battle spread all the way across to people like Bhai Mani Singh Ji, Baba Deep Singh Ji, Jathedar Baba Darbara Singh. Many Singhs all across. They knew that the Khalsa was still alive. This battle, they knew they were going to lose, but there was for one thing only. There was one purpose behind it. That was to wake up the Panth. To say the Singhs today, they can still fight in the battle. The night before the battle, Bhai Tara Singh is saying to the Singhs, I want to give you an ashnan. Main thoda ashnan karona chahna. I want to give you a bath. The Singhs, they take a bath in a huge pot. After they do ashnan, they say, Tara Singh, we want to give you ashnan as well. We want to take care of your body. Bhai Tara Singh says, don't worry, sada sareer pavitr hoga. When the battlefield, when we get wounds on our body. That is how we purify our body, not with just by cleaning. Seva karni. To be able to go into these battles, knowing this is how we purify our body. This news spread all across the land. The Singhs knew over time that we need to reorganize. They created Dal Khalsa, Tarna Dal, Buddha Dal was created. After that, the times of Nawab Kabur Singh came. Only after that did Bota Singh, Garja Singh go and give Shaheediyan. Only after this did Baba Deep Singh go and give Shaheedi. Only after this did Jassa Singh Ahluwalia come into the picture. These are who our forefathers were. This is what the Bajwas were, the Gils were, the Jils were, the Sekhons were, the Tillons were, the Butters were. This is who we are. This is the blood that runs through our veins. They woke up the Panth. The Panth has been sleeping for way too long, Single. Question comes, Appan kiਵੇਂ ਜਗਾਉਣਾ hai? What are you doing in your daily day? What do you dream about? Care Bears? Teletubbies? Is that what we dream about? Are we dreaming about the beautiful luxuries, the mansions, the cars, the Teslas? Pyareo Kalgidhar Pacha sanu ek khayal de gaye ne. They gave us one khayal, one thought, that even in the jungles tudh bin rog rajaiyan da odhan naag niwasende rehna. If you want to live for your Guru, you cannot live for your Guru selfishly, pyareo. Benti hai. You must sacrifice for the Guru. This is how you progress spiritually. This is how you will progress physically. Your love for your Guru will all depend on how much you're willing to give to the Guru, not take from the Guru. You can't make a transaction. Baba Buddha ji said, the last bachan said, how can I live Sikhi? Unhone kiya bas apna uddam karke give every effort of mine to the Guru and just beg for mercy, beg for mehr, beg for blessings. This is what I live for. I want you to sing this khayal with me. Fir aapa samapti karni. I know it's time late. Meri benti hundi hai, mainu jadon shaheedan di gall ho jandi maafi chauna, I don't care about time. It means nothing anymore. We are the army of the timeless. Shaheed Singhs, Bhai Tara Singh, Bhai Bhima Singh, Bhai Lakhmir Singh, Bhai Baghel Singh, Bhai Amar Singh, they're all standing and they listen to their prasang when we speak about them. Sanu dar hona chahiye when we even talk about their itihas कि आपां किते उन्हां दा इतिहास दी बेअदबी तो नहीं कर रहे. Or we dishonoring their itihas by not paying attention. यारो मैनू सच्ची डर बहुत लगदा है. Because one day I will have to walk into that court and have to show my face to say I tried. That's all I want to say. Hey, Single, you tried your best. I tried mine. My question to you guys is, तुसी भी की कर रहे हैं? How are you trying? Are you trying enough? The same Amrit we drank that Bhai Tara Singh drank. The same Japji Sahib they read. The same Jap Sahib they read. The same Sukhmani Sahib they read, we read today. Same Asadiwar Kirtan that they did, we do today. We have their Puratan Shastras. Unhone Ashidiyan paiyan Shastran naal. Are we just there to look at them? To say, oh, that's a cool antique that we have? The same Kamar Kasse, the same Damalle of Bhai Daya Singh Ji that we tie today. Are we just tying it for good looks? Are we actually going to live it? When you go to sleep tonight, I want you to put your head in the lap of your mother, Mata Sahib Devanji. I want you to put your head in the lap of your father, Kalgidhar Pacha. Feel Mataji stroke your face, caress your face. Sleep with that thought. Say, Maharaj, without you, O Kalgidhar Pacha, we have no life. We have no other thought. Aur sade man vich koi khayal nahi aunda. There's only one thought. Maharaj, if we live with the snakes, that is bliss. If we live in the thorns, that is bliss. If we get cut from the body, from the top of the head to the bottom of our toes, that is bliss. But Maharaj, without you, we have nothing. ਰਸਨਾ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਰੋ. Sing this khayal with me. Just the first 2 lines. That's all that matters. ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਰਸਨਾ ਵਾਂਝੀ ਨਾ ਰਵੇ. ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ. ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ. ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਓਢਣ. ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ. My brothers and sisters, you're not singing loud enough. You don't care. You're not showing me you care. Singhs gave jakaare. ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਜ਼ਬਾਨ ਕਲਯੁਗ ਨੇ ਫੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ. ਮੇਰੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਜਗਾ. Sing it loud. Sing it like you care. ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਹਰਮਨ ਸਿੰਘ stop talking. You're just talking crap. You're talking too rude. The way you do parchar is not nice. Say it to me. But I know the face that I have to show my Guru one day. The blood that runs in our veins, the malle that we tie, they were for something. They're not just fashion trends and Damalla_lover72. ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਪੰਥ ਸਾਜਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ. ਸਿੰਘੋ ਜਾਗੋ. Wake up. ਰਸਨਾ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਰੋ. ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ.